Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are watching us from. I have had a lot of people say, how can somebody who is the number 10 or the party who is the number 10 be competing with the first, go into tribunal? Do you really think Obi is number 3? I don't think so. I will give you an instance and I will show you video. You think they're just a case of number 3 wanting to be number 1? No. Even the APC, the PDP know the winner if they will be true to themselves. Everyone is trying to use now technicalities to win. They all know the actual winner. They have representatives at various polling units, but they are trying to, some have paid money, did this and that. You think Obi is number 3? I had people say, how can he number 3? You have been fooled, or you are part of those fooling others. It's not number 3. Now, Lagos, for example, we have had it from the mouth of certain PDP top-notch. Though now they are careful about saying it. We have had it severally. We had it from some LP supporters that the margin at which LP won APC in Lagos is more than 600,000 votes. Imagine if you add that, doesn't that close the gap between LP and PDP? That puts Labour at number 2. And when you do that, the votes that were taken from LP and given to APC will now get back to LP, slim down that of APC. You know what happens? Meanwhile, let's watch this video and we'll be right back.
Fear God. I swear to God Almighty, if anyone had won after following due process, I would have been suicidal for anybody to say the obedience did not capture Lagos during the president. Nothing new. As a matter of fact, Peter Obi did us some favor. Because without Peter Obi, nobody would have believed it was possible for any other party to win in Lagos. And even that win, people are still saying the margin declared could not have been the original margin based on the preponderance of votes that came from the young people, especially the obedience in Lagos. So, just as some of those people took votes away from Atiku, they also took votes away from Tinubu. If you can defeat Tinubu in Lagos, defeat Tinubu in Osun State, it tells you that no one has and that's because there is a theory of rigging. More often than not, you are able to rig only where you have overwhelming presence. But in Lagos this time, it would have been suicidal for anybody to say the obedience did not capture Lagos during the president because they were determined. And you would have had to kill so many people to change all those votes. So all you could do is just some skillful manipulation here and there. Wherever you think Atiku is doing well, bring it down. Wherever you think Obi is doing well, lower it. And that's why you have all these mutilations all over the places. I'm sure you've seen it. I know you're both on social media. You would have seen it. Mutilations everywhere. You're supposed to transmit election results. That's key. So why did we waste all that money? And in the same election, National Assembly went very well. And the only one where you now had problem was the presidential. That for me tells you something. That we have carried our rascality too far. We should fear God. I swear to God Almighty, if anyone had won after following due process, I will be the first. I supported Atiku and Obi in 2019. I wasn't a member of PDP then. And immediately they declared President Buhari. I tweeted and I said I wish to advise Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to congratulate Buhari because that election was not as skilled as it was this time. It was clear that, okay, it may not have been perfect, but at least they followed the due process. This time, that for me was not followed. In 2015, I supported Buhari. I was not a member of APC. I've always been in opposition. So, for a country as poor and as impoverished as Nigeria is, some of us with voices must be in opposition to be able to tell our friends that despite our friendship, this is not right. But a lot of people in Nigeria have come to accept, as long as somebody is from your tribe, somebody is from your religion, somebody is giving you money, then you become a voluntary slave. That cannot be democracy.
If the courts, sorry, Shaitan, just one, if the courts maintain Asiwaju's victory and sustains it, will you congratulate him?
I have nothing personal against Asiwaju. You know very well, Steve, you know very well that I'm closer to Asiwaju than most of the people shouting today. But I'm maintaining my principle. My principle number one is that I represent my party, I represent the interests of my party. I represent Alhaji Atiku Abubakar solidly, absolutely. I am a serious person. I don't jump. It is unfair of anybody to say, oh, what do you have against Asiwaju? So if you are not in the same party, you expect me to abandon my party and defend Asiwaju because he's my friend. Then at 60 plus, I'm not serious. So if the courts declare him, so be it. So we'll wait till that happens. But I can't begin to predict what will happen in advance because we are already in court. And we are hoping that the court will be able to show that this election was a very bad one that will haunt Nigeria for a very long time to come. No matter who is declared, whether it's Atiku or Obi or Asiwaju that is finally declared, this was a bad election.
Well, there are a number of things that have, the international society and opposition parties have been able to say that the general 2023 elections were skewed, voter suppression, violence, rigging, but the 25% spread, especially as it accounts to Abuja, has really been a bone of contention. People saying it would be wrong for the Supreme Court, of course, to rule that the winner of the Nigerian presidency does not require 25% of votes from the FCT to be declared winner. However, we're looking at the main opposition party, your candidate, Atiku Abubakar, not meeting that requirement. So, I mean, I don't have the entire basis of your case in court. But in looking at that, is the party satisfied with just disproving that? Because we're looking at the Labour Party.
It's simple. I'm not a lawyer. And like I said, we shouldn't commit the same error of judgment. We cannot. There is a principle in law that I learned in Ife, Nemo Judex in causa sua. You cannot be a judge in your own cause. So what that does, what that means is that it invalidates that election. Once there is no clear winner, you can't declare someone and say, at least Asiwaju tried, and the only thing he didn't get is 25%. No, that 25% is sacrosanct. It's a must. The law would not have mentioned it if it was unnecessary. The law does not act in vain. I've listened to all the arguments from Dr. Olisa Agbakoba to Professor Michael Zekume, and these are guys, legal luminaries that I respect so much, who will not mince words. Of course, there are lawyers who are trying to browbeat us to say Abuja does not enjoy a special status. Abuja enjoys a special status. That's the only reason it was mentioned. If it was unnecessary, Abuja would not even feature. All they would have said is, you need 25% in 24 states, you need 25% in 25 states. So they would just add Abuja and assume it's a state. But to have mentioned it specifically, nobody can delete that. But you know our people. When people are desperate to justify anything, they will do it. What that does is that it invalidates that election. Apart from the series of other crazy activities that took place. But 25% of Abuja is a must. Even for my principal Atiku, it is a must. He must win it. If he does not win it, and Tinubu does not win it, and Obi does not have enough of 24 states, it's a stalemate. in a stalemate, no judge can now say, because it's a stalemate,
give it to,
we just give it to, we dash it to number one. No, that's what INEC did.
Okay, Chief, let's now move to...
Hello, great people. Have you heard that? The margin declared in Lagos. You heard what he said. That was Dele Momodu, a publisher of Ovation. Yeah, he's a journalist. Have you heard what he said? That some people are saying the margin declared in Lagos, it was not even the right result. Yes, it is the fact that Labour Party won, but it was far much beyond that. And you imagine, to the tune of about 600,000. And Labour Party also confirmed that, though they didn't make it official. Now, in a case whereby you add all of this and elsewhere, and I heard that he was, in an interview, was saying Labour Party scored more than 8 million votes. And the winner of this election, as declared by INEC, also got like 8 million votes. What do you think? Youths, this election is not really about, well, there are some, the influence of ethnicity is there, other factors, but then the youths came out to vote LP. That is the major thing. The youth voted massively for LP. It wasn't just about Igbo thing. No. The Nigerians voted LP. Nigerians chose him not because he's Igbo. They chose him because of his competence and character. The best among the rest. I like this discussion. Very lively discussion. Yes. Obi minused a lot of votes. He was asked, do you think Obi's presence in the election coming through the Labour Party affected PDP? Yes, he said he both affected PDP and APC. The Southeast states and majority of the South and Southeast, normally called Eastern region, goes for PDP most of the times. Yes. So this time around, those areas were inclined to voting for LP. And the most shocking one is LP taking over Lagos. So LP minus vote both from the two sides. The coming of LP impacted negatively on the two parties. Okay, but if you go to Oshun, for example, that is where it is alleged Tinubu came from. A Yoruba state. I think PDP swept there. So Lagos was a kind of a shocker. But what happened? Skillful manipulations. INEC did what, as usual. Should I say as usual? Not really as usual, but this is the worst compared to what we have seen. When they saw the result trickling in, manipulations began. Beavers stopped working. Everything went well. The day the presidential election was conducted, the federal house elections were conducted, elections for the Senate, for the House of Representatives were conducted. The Senate went through, the Beavers was like, oh, I like Senate. Senate went through, House of Representatives went through. Then they saw what was coming during the presidential. They had to stop it. They tell you the Beavers stopped working. Is there an excuse for that? Like many have said, Chimamanda and Dele Momodu and a lot of people, this would have been the best election. In fact, if the Beavers had, if the lies of the Beavers, not this and that, being attacked whatsoever, glitches or hitches, I don't know. If this were not the case and everything went well, and we saw the results, no much complaints, aside the Togri, the voters suppression and the rest of them. Just like you saw in 2019. According to Dele Momodu, he asked Atiku to congratulate Buhari. The malpractices were minimal. But in the case of this 2023, It was clear Obi was leading. And, imagine an election result that was announced. It was as if the country was mourning. Rather than getting enough congratulations from people were bashing the electoral authority, bashing the party. It was as if it was the declared president-elect that was asking people, please congratulate me now, or going to meet people to congratulate him, to accept him. There is a kind of win you will win. It will be generally at least more people, much people than less will accept it. But the case of this particular one, the reactions of the people shows you massively they rejected the winner. The reaction of the people tells you what happened in the election. 2019 was cleaner, and he asked Atiku to congratulate Buhari. Well, when asked if the court at the end of the day sustains Tinubu's announcement as the winner, well, what can we do? But I know that Nigerians will not accept that. Yes. It shouldn't be this way. Nigerians will vote. They know who they voted. At the end of the day, court will now decide who will rule. It's better you tell Nigerians not to vote. If it's court that will always decide, INEC will announce whoever, court will now decide, in favor of INEC. Then we should stop voting. We should stop voting. So that court will just declare, we find out that this is the, just like he's been saying from start, that it is his turn. We find out that this is his turn. The court awards the presidency to him. And can you imagine INEC in one of his arguments? INEC was saying, okay, he didn't win Abuja. Okay, but he scored more number of votes. No, the constitution says 25% of the 24 states and 25% in federal capital. Did Tinubu win got 25% in federal capital? No. Did Atiku get that? I don't think so. So on a normal day, it's not about who got more number of votes, but what the constitution says. So INEC criminally declared Tinubu winner. INEC is supposed to go for a run, or there should be a stalemate. You can't declare him and ask us to accept. And when people talk about entering government, you say it's useless, they are going against the constitution. You first went against the constitution. The constitution made certain provisions for announcing the winner. You didn't follow that provisions. You should be arrested. INEC chairman or whatever should be arrested and be jailed. He went against the constitution. And I know all the Nigerian security outfits are watching. I watched somebody the other day, he came to radio. He was saying, he was, the way he was sternly warning people who are calling for interim government that they shouldn't, that as if they are doing the worst thing. The constitution says 25% in Abuja. You declared somebody who did not get 25% president. You manipulated River State results based on what we are hearing. You gave it to him. This is among the states you want to get the 25% in 24 states. You gave him, you declared him winner. That you went against the constitution. If we should start talking about treason, that is the first treason. Is INEC chairman and INEC staff immune from prosecution? He went against the constitution. Meanwhile, viewers, what do you think? Add your comment on the comment section. This is where we draw the curtain on this one. Please, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more updates. Bye-bye for now.